So my question is, when you look at what's going on with the Cardinals, Goldschmidt is like historically hot, right? I mean, he's had a great career already. He's been hot before. What's it like for you watching that guy? Because it's almost like he's from another planet. Like he might, like an alien invaded his body. What's it like watching you do his thing?
Oh, my God, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's like every single time he comes up to the plate, everybody in the dugout is just real quiet because we know something crazy is about to happen. I mean, he's absolutely unconscious right now at the plate. And it's just fun to watch. So everybody's just taking it in and enjoying it. And, you know, I call him the offense all the time. Like he's the only guy we really need to send up to the plate to get any hits or home runs or anything. So he's unreal. So
help me with something here, because you have a couple guys. Yadi's one of them. Goldschmidt's one of them too, where if you ask him a question about what he's doing, he shoots it down because he doesn't want to talk about himself. So then the folks that are never in the clubhouse will say, yeah, he's quiet. He doesn't he leads by example. And, you know, the fact that, you know, he kind of makes a face when you ask him about himself. It looks like he's not smiling. I got him to smile last night. In the clubhouse, I've seen this guy. He's talkative. I know he helps all the young guys because I see it firsthand. He jokes around. Tell me about his personality in the clubhouse and shoot down the fact that he's stoic and he doesn't say much.
I mean, I know I have a pretty good relationship with Paul because I joke around with him a lot because I try to bring him out of his shell a little bit. I usually get not yelled at, but I get talked down to from Goldie. He tells me to go sit at the kids' table all the time.
Love it.
But no, he's absolutely great. I mean, he's first and foremost, I mean, he's business all the time, which you can appreciate from one of the guys that are the leaders on the team, supposed to set the example for all the younger players. So, I mean, from that aspect, he's great. But no, Paul has a great personality. He's funny, he's witty, but he just doesn't give that off, you know, during the game, what people see on camera. He's very businesslike when it comes to, and very professional when it comes to playing between the white lines.
So, Kiz, speaking of the kids' table, you at least have to be at the intermediate table. I would think that the folks like Nolan Gorman are at the kids' table, right? But hey, that's a good table right now because this guy is raking. When a guy like that comes up, and obviously highly touted prospect, he had 15, whatever it was, homers in the minors, and comes up and right out of the gate is producing the way he is. What kind of infusion of energy is that to the club?
Oh, I mean, anytime anybody comes up and is hitting well, I mean, you can just name a bunch of young guys. Gorman's just one of them. You got Yepez, Donovan. I mean, these guys are coming up and producing, and it's really, you know, when we have some guys down on the DL, I mean, it's great to have those young guys come up and they fit in and they're doing more than fit in. They're playing really good baseball and really carrying the offense, you know. So having those young guys come up, it's awesome.
Hey, I got a question for you, Kiz. You know, watching you play catch, you know, you're going with a lot of different pitchers, and I see like a Gallegos, and he's very slow with his windup. And as a catcher, like, do you like guys that kind of a quicker windup? Is it harder on your knees? Like how does that affect you as a catcher when they have that slow windup? It's curious.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't. It really doesn't make a whole lot of difference from a physical aspect. Now, the thing that's kind of tricky is Gallegos is very slow, and he's like, especially with nobody on base, he'll come set, and he's bringing his glove down, and then all of a sudden he'll pick up and deliver home. And I know, especially with the Padres, they like to sometimes relay location from where the catcher, if the catcher sets up early, they like to relay that information to the hitter, or at least try to. So it's kind of a challenge to figure out when he's about to pick up, so you can jump to the location of where you want him to throw the pitch. So that's really the only tricky part, is trying to time up when to get in position and when to set up and when he's going to pick up his leg to deliver. So other than that, though, it's, you know, everybody's kind of has their own personal thing, you know, quirks with their windup and different things like that.
So you guys are breaking out Pitchcom a little more. Even Yadi and Waino went to it the other night, like in the fifth inning. They didn't say it was because of sign stealing, but they said just to guard against that. So Dakota Hudson used Pitchcom, and Ollie Marmol said it's to help him pick up the pace. Do you like Pitchcom, and do you think that that can help guys who might be a little slow and maybe a little too deliberate?
I think it definitely helps because the minute I throw the ball back to the pitcher, I can call a pitch. And the pitcher has right there, I just watch him. We're still trying to figure out a system of how I can call a pitch early and they can shake it or whatever, So we're still working through some things with how it works, but I'm able to get pitch calls into the pitcher real early. And I think that helps guys because then they know what they're throwing. They can get on the mound. They have conviction with that pitch, and then they attack the hitter. It's not like they're up on the mound waiting for me to go through all the signs, thinking about, how should I pitch this guy? No, it's get the pitch, throw the pitch, execute the pitch. So I think from a conviction standpoint, it's very good. And also from, a sign stealing standpoint, whether teams are, trying to relay signs or not, it just eliminates all doubt. So it kind of gives the pitcher peace of mind.
So, Kiz, because we're talking about technology and all that, what do you think about the idea of a robotic strike zone down the road, if that ever came to Major League Baseball? And I'm wondering also from a catching perspective, because coming up, there's that art of framing, or now they call it presenting, whatever it is. But you're taught how to frame a pitch to try to steal a strike here or there for your pitcher, and that would go away. Just what do you think about that whole idea of potentially a robotic strike zone?
Oh, I get asked this question so much, and I feel like my answer always changes because I don't really know. I'd have to see what the zone is like. I know some guys have used it. Some of the younger players have used it like in the fall league, and I think they might have had it in low A or something like that last year or maybe this year. So some guys have come up and they talk about it. They're like, yeah, it's okay. They're still adjusting how the zone is supposed to call strikes. So it's kind of like they tilt the automated zone back so you can't just throw a curveball that bounces, that clips the front of the plate, and they call it a strike. So they're still working through some things with the zone. I'd have to see it and actually use it before I can make an actual judgment on it. But I think, if it's fair, then there's no arguing with balls and strikes. It either hit the zone or it didn't. Does it change the catching position? I think it does in a way, because then all you really have to do is just be able to catch the ball and block the ball, and then be able to throw with guys stealing. So I think it will change the catching position. I don't know how much it will change the actual hitting behind the plate.
So I'm an old, and I kind of like the human element of having a umpire back there, but there's an art also to working the umpires, and you're still a young guy, so I'm going to ask you to tell us some secrets here. No one's listening, like 12 people. So what is your approach with trying to gain favor with the home plate umpire, if you do have any sort of way about doing that? Because I always find that fascinating. Like, you can't argue a call too much because then the umpire might be mad at your pitcher. So you have to do like a little dance. Do you have a way of treating the umpires that you're hoping will ingratiate them, and maybe you can eke out a better call or two?
Well, this might sound a little crazy, but Major League umpires are a lot better than what people give them credit for, because I have a pretty good view behind the plate, and obviously I'm a little biased, and there's a lot of pitches on the corner that I'm receiving and catching well, and I'm like, oh, that's got to be a strike. And I might mention something to the umpire. I never really get mad at the umpires because, look, it's tough. You got 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming in there. It's hard to see it. But I'll go back in and look on the iPad after the inning, and sure enough, that pitch that I kind of argued about or asked a question about was definitely outside. And I'm like, man, then I come out and tell them, I'm like, man, you guys are good behind the plate. You guys see everything. So it's kind of that balance of, I'm never disrespectful. I always try to be respectful to the umpires and really just be myself. And just work with the guys. Just talk like a normal person and just ask questions and get to know the guys a little bit. I mean, it's just, like I said, I just be myself and just develop a relationship.
Even Angel Hernandez? I'm just joking. Go ahead, Charlie.
I mean, yeah, Angel's actually a really nice guy. He's probably one of the nicer umpires. And I think Angel's actually not as bad as everybody thinks. I think
Not as bad. That's a nice way to put
throw
it.
that in there. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, he has his moments where he might make some bad calls that are really bad, but for the most part, like behind the plate, he's actually a pretty good umpire.
I like that. That was a very good,
He's good.
political answer.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. So, Kiz, weekend, you guys are obviously working with a bunch of day games over Memorial Day weekend, but are you able to have any type of fun? Does Waino have a cookout for the boys or what? What happens?
No, there's no cookout or anything like that. It's tough because those day games are so draining. So it's really everybody's just trying to get back home and recover and get ready for the next game. It's tough those day games, especially following a night game, because it's a you get to bed real late and then you're up playing real early in the morning. So a lot of guys just use that extra time to recover and prepare for the next game.
We got a couple more for you, Kiz. But I am curious, and I know it's baseball season. You're working every day, but you're making a little bit of money now. You've been in the game a little bit here. Like, you gonna buy any toys? What do you do in the off season? Do you go down to Florida? Like, what kind of fun do you have, man?
Oh man, see, I'm a saver. I like saving my money. The only thing I've really bought is I bought a new car once I made it to the big leagues. That was my one big purchase, and other than that,
What kind?
What kind of car, Kiz?
I bought a Mercedes-Benz GLE
nice.
53 Coupe
Ooh.
AMG. Yeah, so it's one of the SUVs with the kind of the rounded back. It's cool. It's got sport mode and everything where the exhaust pops. It's like got the track mode and whatever. So it's a pretty cool car. I've liked it a lot. So
AMG, baby.
yeah.
So
it's nice.
all right, before we let you go, I did want to point something out. You're a regular on the show. Matt Holliday has been a regular, and he was just voted into the Cardinal Hall of Fame. And though he hasn't said it publicly, I believe that it was his association with this show that put him over the top in the vote for the Cardinal Hall of Fame. So I just want you to know what you're dealing with here, and that if you stick with us and you play ball, you will be in the Cardinal Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That to me sounds like a plan.
Yep.
That's what we do here. That's what we do here. Hey, Kiz, man, appreciate you coming on. We'll be watching. You're doing great, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Right
See
on.
ya.
See you,
Thanks.
buddy. Andrew Knizner. That's a badass car he's got, by the way. We were talking about those what was those G-Wagons?
Yeah.
That's not a G-Wagon. It's got kind of the oval, like he said, but he's got dual exhaust and that, fat tires. They're cool. Those AMGs, those are badass. Really nice.
If he got a tick of a better contract, he probably would have gotten a G-Wagon.
Yeah, he would have got a G-Wagon. $200,000. And again, he's young. You can't have the nicest car going in there.
He's smart,
He's smart. Yeah.
right? I mean,
That's what it is.
you get something nice, you treat yourself, but you also put some away for a rainy day, because you never know what's around the corner.
Oh, you don't. Not at all. Not at all. 855-282-8255. I do like him a lot. He had a great, everything's well thought out and processed when he answers these questions. Even with the Hernandez one. I had to throw that at him. It's like, what about him? And you got to be nice to everybody, man. I like his style.
But look, that's why catchers make the best managers, because as a catcher, you have to work all the relationships.
Yep.
You have to work the relationship with the umpire, but also you have to get pitches for your pitcher. And oh, by the way, you're also a hitter. So I think the most fair, reasonable baseball folks are always catchers, because they have to look at it. They can't just be pro pitcher, because they're also in the box.
Right.
So they have a good view of the whole game.
If I were Kiz or Yachty or a major league catcher, I would get 10 cheesesteaks from the Post or 10 cheeseburgers from the Village bar.
God.
And I would bring them down. The umpires have a little room that's between the home clubhouse and the visitors clubhouse. Just knock on the door and go, guys, just want to say I appreciate the work. Here's some delicious cheesesteaks from the Post. I bet you get better calls.
That's how it is, man. You just nice to everybody. Be nice to the refs. Be nice to the lineys. They'll get you out of a jam. They'll give you that extra elbow. Oh, Cam, they'll give you the warning.
So how did you do it? Did you play with those guys? Did you
with the
massage them?
God, yes.
How so? What was your approach?
I get a pill and back. My bad, dude. I got you. No, you're right. I got you. I'll go to the box. Never complained. Never bitched about anything. The only time I would complain to the Lineys if they broke up the fight too quick. When I was getting loose on a guy that wanted to tie me up, I'd be like, get out. And if they came, this is my time. Get away. I'm okay. Even my helmet flew off, and the guy was ragdolling me. Get away from me. That would piss me off. But as far as the refs, I'd always be nice to them. I'd skate around the warm-ups, be like, what up, guys? What up, Janner? Like, what do you got? You'd always ask me what I was doing that night, too, by the way. That's because they know I'm from St. Louis. And they're like, where are you going? I'm like, I'll talk to you afterwards. I'll let you know. And then they'd show up and have beer with them. I swear to God. Then I'd go, Jimmy, and I'd elbow some son of a gun, and they'd give me a warning. Instead of giving me a 2, 5, and 10 and put me out of the damn game, they'd give me a warning, always, just because of that. So I like Kiz's attitude, man. You're nice to everybody. They'll give you a call. Because you would, too, if somebody was nice to you.
You buy a beer ever for these guys?
God, yes. I'm picking that tab up. You're going to have them buy me. Although they would always, those guys are off. They'd always pay for stuff, you know.
Do we have the Tim Peel drop? Because I'd like to hear that. Because that's my
Peel's
favorite. Let me hear him.
Oh, he's coming out.
Let me hear him. It's worth it.
I was never a big rule guy. I called what I knew.
Hey,
You guys did that at the same time. Oh, my God.
job, Nick.
That was a race. No, he was ahead of you.
Oh, was he?
He was ahead of you by a little bit. Hey, who was it? Oh, go ahead.
He does have a button bar in front of him. I have to dig through my email to find these drops.
That's what I'm doing.
That's great. I was going to bring this up. That Top Gun Maverick movie, dude. You got to take Tyler to see that.
I'm going to take Aaron and
badass.
Tyler this week. He's off school.
Yes.
I'm going to be off the Cubs series, so I'll have a few days. And I want to go to a matinee.
Yeah, dude.
Isn't it got hot day? Got AC in there? Find one of those theaters where you can order a burger or something.
Dude, we're renting out Wildwood Theater. Me and my buddies and our girls are going to rent that bad boy out. They serve beer. You could stop the video and go to the bathroom. You can do whatever you want. And I haven't been in the movie theater in a long time. And if you're going to watch this damn movie, my vertigo is going to kick in. That's why I want to see it. The ride, the jet flying is supposed to be incredible. We're gonna say, Charlie, go ahead.
not only that, my buddies said you have to watch in IMAX if you can.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They
yeah.
all the people that saw it, they all loved it, and they said if you can watch it in IMAX, watch it in
Which
IMAX.
is more important, IMAX or a theater where they bring you a cheeseburger while you watch them? I like that.
I like to kind of just be with my group too. I don't know. I don't think it's an IMAX that we're renting out, but you rent out a movie theater. It's kind of nice. You can do what you want. It's cool.
If you go to a matinee, there's not many people in there. That's why I like a matinee.
I like that Wildwood pub or the Wildwood one because there's little restaurants right there. It's kind of cool. I'm seeing that damn movie. It's one of my favorite movies growing up.
The one over there in De Pere, I don't know what happened since the pandemic, but they have one of the theaters where you can order food. I
need to eat and drink.
I think that's kind of cool. Some people are like purists. They're like, I don't want to be bothered or distracted. And here's the other thing. If it's a movie that I really want to see, I don't want to watch it at home on the screen. I want to be in a theater where it's dark and
I need to have a cocktail because if I drink beer the whole time, then you're going to have to pee the whole time. So you got to kind of selectively find out how you're going to get drunk. And I'm probably just going to drink Bloody Marys and mimosas.